No.
By the way, I have seen the movie.
What'd you think? Good? Yeah.
Yeah. It really was
We'll
just
wait for your
fucking
exciting blog post about it.
It's
you
already
can-
up.
Yes. Oh,
Is
yeah.
it? Well, there we
It
go. You
should
can
be.
do
I've
it.
heard-
You can
I've
thingy
heard,
it at the end of the stream that we are currently
Listen,
streaming to
listen.
everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody. I heard it's
Hello.
good from good amount of people.
Yep.
I can certainly hear us. We're on the stream. Say something again, but
It's my stream now. Hey, everybody, and welcome
No.
back to another episode of Steam Steel Murder. I'm your temporary host, Dion, and
Woo!
he's fixing his microphone because updates and things happen. But if you don't remember, last time something really terrible happened.
you
It
coughed
was
up
terrible,
a big.
but it was pretty badass.
It was pretty badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Richard died.
badass.
Yeah.
Testing. Hello.
I didn't have it. Did anybody listen?
Yep, you're up.
Okay, how does it sound though?
Yes.
Does it sound like garbage or does it sound normal?
No, it sounded like normal.
Okay.
I mean, so yes, garbage. But you know,
It sounds
Yeah,
great.
thanks. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, well, I guess we're back with some BX Dungeons and Dragons, starting the Darokin story arc. And actually, you're on a roll there, Dion. So yeah, what did happen last episode? And we'll get into introductions after.
Me? Me?
Well,
Asking
you were doing it, so why
Oh,
don't you
I
finish
mean,
it off?
Well, we were ambushed by the cook of the merchant caravan that we had joined up with. The cook seemed to be using some nefarious evil magics and summoned a bunch of demons, and with the sacrifice of our longtime loved beautiful friend Fig Jam freezing himself in a icy prison of death with a well-placed ice storm spell. We barely survived with our lives at the expense of his own. And we were just about at the last stop before the border, and we shacked up there. There was a party, I guess, and we partied a little and cried a little, and I was poisoned, and Radnar dyspeptic my bowels and
I did.
didn't help, but I appreciated the thought because I thought of it. And we're probably figuring out what we're doing next.
No, you forgot the whole second encounter.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, all the merchants. I don't remember who we decided to go with though.
Darokin.
Yeah, it was the merchants that were taking their dead brethren back. And,
Okay, yeah.
so they're dead
So then-
animated.
Yeah, they came to life in the middle of the night and started
So I was
munching on
half
all of
suspecting
us.
was going to happen, to be honest.
Yeah, and then luckily we had a cleric who was like, "Yeah," and that's where we left off because we're
Yeah.
still fighting. I think there's like one or two left.
Yeah, but since we don't have Fig Jam here, no one's going to bother to tune in to find out what happens anymore.
Right?
You know, and I may be
They're the only reason people came to the channel, but now it's gone.
carrying on the Fig Jam tradition, but I really think that I think the cook turning in the summoning the demons, I think he was an assassin.
He might have been.
You think?
Fig Jam was right all along.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I mean, paranoids aren't always wrong. And with that, Jameis, who are you playing?
What am I playing? What am I playing? I don't know. Cleary Elf Priest by the name of Galen Rayhorn. He's level 8. And although there's elves around here, they're highfalutin, snooty elves, and they're all elitist bastards. I mean, the elves are somewhat elitist bastards anyway, but these are more elitist than that.
Whole new level of snobbery. They're like level 10 snobbery.
I don't think you're elitist, Jameis.
Richard can wave at himself there, but his character has yet to be discovered. We will drop Richard in, and he can introduce his character when you meet him. Dion, or them.
Hi, I'm Dion, also known as a C, the level 10 thief with the title The Pretty One.
It's an
Hell
entirely new thief title. Happens at level 10. Check
Yep.
your books. It's
Yep.
there. At
It's
least
in
the
Unearthed
ones.
Arcana.
It's
too.
at least in the ones that Dion was able to, put the white on and
Yeah.
write over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill, what you got?
My name is Bill. I'm playing Radnor the Large, the 9th level wizard, who is, I don't know, he's starting to see assassins everywhere. I don't know.
It's inherited paranoia. All
I
right.
have. It is inherited, yes.
So we have a map. We have a map now of the region we're in. You guys are still currently still within Galantry, but you're just a small stone throw. You're in the hex right before Akasoli. Still on the Galantry side of that. It's still that night. Galen is running back to camp. He successfully not just disrupted, but disintegrated several of these undead, but there's still several unaccounted for. You notice that there are several of the caravan leaders that are also missing as well. Let's see. I believe Radnar, you were woken up just in time as one was about to make a meal out of you, sleeping on the ground. You were able to wake up and get out of the way.
Yes.
Dion, did we do something with your character yet?
I was the first one awake.
You were the first
and
one
I
awake.
screamed.
Yeah, that's right.
I bapped him with the Jester Mace and I screamed so everyone could wake up.
Yes. So we will take it up there with Galen having just ran into the center of the camp, waving his holy symbol around. You're noticing that 6 of the corpses are missing, and you don't have a complete count yet of all the caravan members missing. Galen knows at least one of them's dead, for sure.
So on the next round of combat that we're up to.
Well, this is a lull in combat right now.
Oh.
So because you don't see any more of the corpses around, you just counting the ones that you disintegrated and such. There's still half a dozen of them missing.
Are the ones in the tent still alive that are attacking us?
There were 2 left who were attacking us in the midst of the battle last time. If you just want to say they're dead and gone.
Oh no, I thought
Okay.
you didisintegrated them, and then no, there were
I
still 2.
disintegrated
That's right.
all but
Yeah,
2.
you weren't able to get those 2. So yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and finish that up.
Yeah, it's not going to take
Yeah.
long. The next round. It's been
Yeah.
the way I fit the leg.
Well, let's start with Bill. Roll a d6 for your side, and let's finish off these 2 undead corpses.
All right.
If they go first, then they're going to wipe out their top 8.
Could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Ah,
They go
Right.
first.
Yeah, they go first.
TPK.
I'm going to say they're both going to try and take down the cleric before the cleric can do anything more against them.
I'll be turning undead on my turn.
Exactly.
Obviously.
I believe they're both going to miss. What's your AC?
-1.
Yeah, not a chance. So they're glomming around you, swiping at you, fumbling around.
Oh.
That's their turn. So have at it. Yeah.
I can't but not destroy them at their level, and the lowest roll I can roll is 2 hit dice worth
So
of
there
creatures.
you go.
So
2 hit dice gone. So poof.
I'm not even...
Yeah, they explode. So the camp is quiet around you. Some of the Darokin merchants are coming out from where they were bed down. One of them's coming out of a tree where he had strung a hammock. One's coming out from underneath the wagon. A couple of them had sent up a tent, and they're not coming out of the tent. So they do a quick head count. It looks like 4 of their numbers are missing, and there's a half a dozen or 6 bodies missing. Meanwhile, in the forest, running for their life, Richard, your character has been pursued for days with dogs, nonetheless. You were able to get them off your scent for a time by passing through a stream, but it seems like they're relentless. They have not stopped to rest. Every time you stop, you hear the dogs in the getting closer. Sounds of their barking, the men coming. With nightfall, you thought that perhaps they would give up the chase, but that does not seem to be the case. Roll me a d6, Richard.
Well, if it weren't for those dogs, I could use my hiding ability and hide in the foresty areas. But no.
That's why they have dogs.
Yep. A 3, there you go.
3. Okay. Right, so you don't run right into the middle of this camp. You hear a sound of some people conversing ahead of you in Darokin, which you are familiar with. Actually, did you take it as one of the languages?
No, because I don't know what the languages are, unfortunately. I haven't taken any languages.
Okay,
I
that's
assume I know the things. I
You
just
can't
find a note.
speak.
Yeah, I would assume that your character came from this area, and since Galantry is not very favorable to halflings, you probably from well, you don't have to be from Darokin, but that probably is the most recent place you've been before whatever transpired in Galantry to piss off people to have come after you. So you hear voices speaking. You see the last glow of a fire pit, perhaps, ahead of you.
Well, that looks like a place where I can join some nice people. Yes, so I'll go over there and run towards the light.
Okay. So out of the foliage breaks. All right, who are you playing, Richard?
I am playing, as you already know, thank you, Bert.
Jamfig, the halfling.
I am playing a halfling. Yes, the halfling is called Scribbleshanks.
Scribbleshanks.
Because why not have a ridiculous name?
Hell yeah!
How do you spell that?
There's an
I will
S.
put that in. Yeah, there's an S there. Oh.
There's an S, yes. Probably more than one.
Lots of them. Yeah. I am not good at physical descriptions, so just imagine you're a tiny, small halfling person, and I will put up various different pictures in the backgrounds, which could possibly represent them.
I love that.
All right. Yeah, you guys haven't run across a halfling in some time, so one just kind of bursts into the clearing as you're trying to decide on a course of action here.
What's the XP worth of a half?
I'm gonna do a quick intelligence roll to see if I know what a halfling is.
Oh, you have
Nope.
seen halflings. Yeah,
Oh,
they're-
have I?
yeah.
Damn it. You're ruining my fun. I was gonna be like, hey there, little guy. You lost?
You can
Where's
probably do that anyway. Yeah.
No.
Take the fires, keep an eye out for more of the undead.
Ah, undead! I run out the other side.
You just keep
Never
running.
seen
Just
again.
keep running.
Split the party before it's a party.
Yeah, I'm making sure. I'm taking charge of banking up the fire. We start getting people together and stuff. See what's going on.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
ignoring that. I'm ignoring the halfling because he's not obviously undead, unless he's wearing really good makeup or something. I don't
No.
know.
Well, the
I'm
merchants are
just-
like, well, we've got to find our brothers. I mean, they
Yeah,
can go and look at
that's
the
why I said-
tents. There's no bodies in the
Bank-
tents, but the back.
To bank the fires, get some light going. It's the middle of the night. You haven't noticed.
Mhm.
You need light.
Yeah, I'm gonna notice the halfling and just wave him over and be like, "What are you doing out here alone? Like
Not
in
alone.
this area?"
That's the problem.
Oh,
They're all
oh.
around. Here they are.
demons.
Yeah. No, Well, I
That would
mean,
be.
maybe that's not exactly how what I would call them. It's possibly a mistranslation, although it might possibly be that sort of thing if you were inclined to make it that way. I don't quite know.
I
Got it. Okay.
like this guy already. Yeah.
Well, I'm a C. Uh, welcome to the camp. You came at a bad time. This happens a lot. But I mean, there's some rations if you need food and water.
Oh, yes, I would love some. I haven't eaten for, well, quite a while. It's been so long since I last ate, and they didn't even have any good food at the last place I ate. It wasn't very nice. It's all sort of dry and horrible, and it just keeps going on in that manner about everything.
Right. I got a thing I gotta do.
Oh, I
You help
remember thinking. All right,
yourself.
you go.
All right.
Thank you for
All
your
right.
kindness.
Yep. I'm gonna
So
follow
the
Galen
merchants
around
have
and look like I'm doing something.
have grabbed oil lanterns, lit torches. They're getting together to go and look for their missing people. The tents look like the rear ends have been cut open from the inside as far as they can tell. So they think that maybe they awoke in time. The undead were coming through the front. They just ran out the back. At least that's what they're hoping happened.
I'm gonna check the bear traps I set.
Okay. Make me a luck check.
Always high, baby. Always high.
Your bear
Hi.
trap has caught one of the corpses who is in the process of gnawing off its own leg to get out of the bear trap. Looks up to you like,
Can I coup de grace it?
yes.
Okay. Beat it with my gesture mace a bunch of times until it stops moving. That's my coup de grace.
All right. You guys can hear the barking of dogs in the distance now as well.
Oh, that'll be useful. We can use them to hunt down the others.
Were all the other traps good?
The other traps were good. Just one of them had
Okay.
caught.
I'm gonna move them and set them up towards where those dogs are coming. Like the
Well, you're not.
direction that they...
They're way in the distance. You
Oh,
can't.
it's like
yeah.
echoing. Okay, okay. So I'm just gonna reset the traps while I'm there, and then just go back and be with the halfling, because I hear dogs. And like, Galen, there might be like demon dogs or something coming.
Dogs
Well,
are
what did you do?
a natural enemy of the halfling. They don't like us for some reason. They take offense at our smell, although I have been told I smell quite pleasant by several people on different occasions. Let me tell you the different occasions on which I have been told these lists of occasions.
I pretend to listen.
Galen, what are you doing?
Good.
Yeah, probably the first. Well, if they've got ideas, probably the first thing we'll do is work out if they know how many people died, how many bodies do we have any bodies left in the.
There are four.
Caravan.
There are 4 merchants missing. Like that.
Yeah,
that
but no, I want to work out how many dead there are.
Right. So there's
So
only
how many
one
did-
body that you've seen so far.
Well, no, there's the bodies. No, we had the.
There are
We
okay. So
started
there
with-
are 5 of the corpses missing as well. Of the living corpses.
Yeah, I'm not. So there's 5 because we entered this location with a group of dead people.
Yep.
No, we're all dead. We're transported back. How many of them were there, and how many have I?
Right. That's what I'm saying. So there are 5 missing,
There's 5 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
and there are 4 of the caravan people missing.
Try and trace, try and track, hunt, whatever the term is.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Gonna be tricky. Oh, I'm gonna start.
You got 2 rerolls if you wanted to use them.
I wish you care about who these people are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's rough. It's picking up the trail is surprisingly difficult as you're looking around. The other caravan guys are just basically making a line from the back of the tent into the forest, figuring that they just ran headlong into the forest. So that's what they're doing. What are you doing, Radnar?
What, I mean, did all these undead that just attacked us come out of nowhere?
No, they were the bodies of the caravan people were
Oh,
bringing
the
back
caravan.
home.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to find a polite way to put to the rest of these people that, like, your buddies are gone. I mean, they're just they want to go after their companions, these bodies that got up and walked
No.
around.
Okay. So there are 5 of the bodies, undead,
Okay.
but there are 4 living people that are missing that they're trying to find.
During the like night attack, they went missing.
They went missing.
I mean, how much? I don't know. I'm against going to look for them because it's.
No, you don't need to. They're doing it regardless
Yeah.
because they're all related. They're all kin,
Oh.
so they're not going to leave them here. So they're going to go and look.
I don't know. I'm thinking seriously about casting charm person on the leader and telling her let's just go. But I don't even think I have that memorized. So no, I'm just. I mean, I don't. I'm not the real woodsy, outdoorsy tracking type.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be. I mean, if you've got something you need me to blow up, I can do that.
Okay, so you're staying around the camp then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dion, how about you? What's he doing?
I'm gonna make sure that like the hobbit's staying nearby so I can keep an eye on him.
Sir, that is a derogatory term.
That's a trademark
halfling.
term, sir.
And I see kind of Radnar wandering around, being a wizard. Just
Grumbling.
like, hey, we got some dogs coming this way if you want to light something up.
Oh, okay.
They're after this dude. What's your name?
Have you heard? Scrambleshanks is my name.
I'm just gonna call you Shanks. All right.
I like it. Scribbleshanks.
Yes. Have you heard of the elven folk hero, Scrambleshanks? Well, no, folk hero is a mistranslation. It's more hero of the people. Well, not really people, more the race. No, that's probably a mistranslation as well. But
Folk hero.
that person, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. I was named after them.
All right. So the dogs
No relation.
are the baying of the hounds is getting closer. In the distance, you can see light bobbing and coming this way.
Light.
It's far enough away that you can't quite make out what's making the light, but the sound of the dogs seem to be with that light, whatever it is.
Okay. Shanks, hide in the tent. I get my bow and stuff ready and make sure.
Jinx, are these just dogs, or was there someone accompanying the dogs that was after you?
So Scrimbleshanks didn't actually see who's following.
I just ran.
Yeah.
Dogs are a natural enemy of the halfling. It's something to do with our scent. And I say as I head into the tent.
It's nice and warm, as if a few people had recently been here.
Find some bedding and lie down and hide under it.
All right. Meanwhile, Galen, you are out trying to track with the remaining caravan. Why don't you give me a luck check? High, low?
We'll also
high,
be
low.
trying to make sure I'm away from the others so my introvision can try and kick in.
Yes.
High, always high. I'm high like this. Dion. Nope.
Low.
I stumble over a bush and fall flat on my face.
Okay.
Nice.
So Your bad luck is that they stumble
It's another
upon
freaking bear trap again. What is it with these bear traps?
they stumble upon the undead and not you. So you hear the sounds of combat off to your left, where you see the lights of the rest of the caravan.
So if I combat, I'll head that way, I suppose. Yeah.
You can start heading that way. Okay. As you do so, you turn, and stepping out of the forest is a black dog. It's very silent, almost like it's coming out of the shadows. But as you see it, its eyes are just kind of filled with flickering fire. And as its mouth opens, it drools lava, just red, thick, that hits the ground. It starts burning some of the grass nearby. And it lifts its throat and lets out a howl. You guys that are listening for the dog, there's one very close to you, just off to the left in the forest, and then it howls, and then the ones that are closing on you have a responding howl, and you see those lights in the distance start moving faster and faster. You're making out now that it's not lamplight, it's not torchlight, it's flames heading towards you.
Oh, we have a really good, effective long-standing tradition against flame.
All right, Galen.
Just think of that last fight.
Yeah. So you're facing down a fairly large representation here, a fine representation of a hellhound. I guess go ahead and roll initiative. Just you. You can add your dex bonus in since it's one-on-one.
No point. 2-6.
Okay, give me just a second here. I have
Going
lost my bookmark.
All right, you're going first. 3.
Pardon, just a moment. Where is it? There it is. Okay. And you rolled a 1. Ooh.
Yep. You hard pressed not to go ahead of me.
Yeah, so it springs at you. What is it? Hit die. Oh my gosh.
So, my new character.
Way low, even with its lot of bonuses. So yeah, it lunges quickly, but it just seems to be off target. Kind of lands off to your left. That's its first attack. But it does, after its leap is unsuccessful, it turns its head, it opens its mouth, and just breathes a cone of fire on you. Now, do you have the ring?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been around these guys too long. I picked that up.
Mm-hmm. So the grass around you catches on fire as it breathes. All of your items are proof against it as long as you're holding onto it or it's making contact with you. So it just like ignites the forest around you, and you can still hear the sounds of battle off to your left as the rest of the people in the caravan are fighting for their lives against the undead. Go ahead and take your attack, or whatever you want to do.
Bad doggy. I try and hit him with my mace. Now this isn't undead.
No, it is not undead.
Okay, just because it changes what I do. I hit a -1.
Okay, you hit it. Yeah, go ahead and do some damage.
5 points of damage.
All right. Yeah, it kind of shrugs it off. It does. I mean, you do make contact with it. It's very solid. You do a little damage to it, you think. It's certainly irritated, but it comes on. It lunges. Let's do another round before anything else happens. Go ahead. Roll a d6.
4.
All right. You do go first this time.
Given that it didn't seem to do... Did I feel like I did 5 points of damage to it, or did it feel like...
It did feel like a good, significant hit. It's a fairly large dog. Feel like it's going to take a lot more of those.
Yeah. I'm going to disengage and run back to combat. Run back to the others.
Okay. So do you want to just flee, or do you want to do a fighting withdrawal?
Fighting withdrawal.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you take your action to do that. It will kind of pursue, though.
Yeah. It's quicker than me because it's a dog.
Yeah, it has quite a big movement. So basically, you can start heading back to camp. It doesn't get a free attack, but it will attack. 13, 15. So I hit a 4. No, I hit a 3.
No.
No, your AC is too
Need
high.
to
Okay,
do,
yeah. So it's
You
stalking
need
you.
17 or higher then.
Okay, so it's stalking you as you're retreating back towards the center of camp.
Bad doggy.
So here's what we're gonna say happens: is you guys see Galen step out of the forest with his back to you, and he seems to be fending something off. And as he takes a couple of steps into the center of the clearing, you see this hellhound, this dog from the depths, covered in flame, drooling lava, is coming out of the tree line after him. And in the distance, closing fairly quick now, you can see a pack of these dogs heading your way. All right, so you're pretty much together now. Unfortunately, the rest of the Darokin merchants are out in the forest fighting for their own lives. So you're together. Let's have, let's just go down and have Richard go ahead and roll a d6 for your side. We'll start initiative with everyone here.
You know, it's bad luck for caravans to travel with us.
It is. You've destroyed just about every caravan you've been with.
Pretty much, yeah.
Anyone casting?
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
Okay, you're casting.
I'm gonna-
All right, so it does go first. It is still on Galen, so its first attack is going to be to try and bite Galen. That's going to be a 17.
Not quite.
No, it's got a bonus, so a 17.
Oh, well, no.
Yeah,
No, the 13 you rolled,
it
you
wasn't.
need to
So
roll a
yeah,
17.
okay, I got you.
Yeah,
So it's a
it was
miss.
4 points off. Just.
But it does turn and breathe fire, trying to catch a C and Radnar. Now, does everybody have those rings?
Not about
Yes.
Dion.
I do.
Dion does
Dion
not.
doesn't.
Okay, Dion. go-
Isn't the halfling with Dion?
No, the halfling's in the tent, so he's not seen as a target
Yep.
just yet.
That's where I'm hiding.
All right, Dion, go ahead and make me a save versus spell.
Breath.
Well, yeah,
spell?
yes, breath. Yeah. This has breath weapon, right?
Success.
Okay, so you're gonna take half.
Okay.
Dragon Breath, yeah,
Yeah,
but that
okay.
roll succeeds against anything.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
Nothing.
Smash,
Yay.
Oh, only 8 points, so 4 points of damage. You managed to
Okay.
roll out of the biggest part of the blast, but you still get singed by it.
Woo, woo, woo. Hot, 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 hot.
And you have 2 rounds before the other dogs hit camp. So after this round, 2 more rounds. All right, so that's its 2 actions. It's your turn. You were casting, Radnar. What are you casting?
Charm monster.
Okay. Let me check that real quick.
It's just I'm guessing he's more than 3 hit dice. So
He is.
according to this, it can only affect the one. But and he gets a saving throw.
All right, Charm Monster. Let's see.
It said it doesn't work on undead. I'm assuming this is not an undead creature.
It is not undead. It is more than 3 hit dice, so it gets a save, and you can only affect the one.
Right.
Yeah, all right, so let's give it a save. It saves.
Oh, darn it. Okay, that sucks.
It was a
Yeah.
good try.
Was anyone else?
That would have been kick-ass,
Yeah.
though.
Okay, so the rest of your actions, and what is Scrimbleshanks doing in the tent? You've got, like, you can see through the little gap in the tent flaps what's going on out there.
Do I actually have any equipment or stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, because I did buy things, etc. for this. So, it's these demon dogs again. I guess I'll stay inside this turn.
Smart.
I'll draw out my
Smart,
weapons,
yeah.
etc.
All right, Galen.
But yeah, I'll see how these guys can handle it.
It's standing in front of you and just kind of did a side shot at your friend. So go ahead, take your shot.
Cool. Where's the button?
All right, you hit another solid
Seven
bit of
points.
damage. This time it does welt. It just does a yelp as you hit it. It still seems to be in the combat, but that definitely hurt it some. Dion, you're up.
Yeah, draw an arrow. It's not a magic one.
It's not a special magic one. They're always magic.
Yeah, that. And then it's short range for sure. So +1. Do I hit an AC 7?
Oh, its armor class is 4.
Oh.
So you
okay.
miss.
Well, I miss.
Just explodes into flames as it gets close.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's everybody on your side. As Scrimbleshanks is just kind of peering out after he's drawn his weapons, but hasn't engaged anything. So next round, Dion, roll for your side. Is anyone casting?
Ink.
Yes.
Okay.
4.
One more round after this one, and you guys can see that there's 5 more of these dogs just running directly towards camp. 2, you guys go first. Who was casting?
I'm casting. How far away are the dogs from us now?
Right now, the ones that are coming in on you, 240.
Is that within range?
Not within range of what I wanted to do.
Oh, you can hold your action.
Okay. I'm gonna cast magic missile on this one nearest.
Sure, go ahead. Roll your damage.
3d6 plus 1. Let's see here. Come on now. Do, 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 do. 3d6 plus 3, I'm sorry. 18.
Ooh, wow, so.
That's more than I've done the entire combat.
Oh, you're kidding.
Screaming black skulls.
Oh, that's one more hit point that it could take. Yeah, so your screaming skulls just tear into the dog. Lava leaks from the wounds. It growls, then starts crying a bit as it just kind of dissolves before you. So at the end of the round, they're 120 away at the start of the next round. So, yeah, Dion, if you want to take a pot shot, they're going to be 120.
Yeah, I can. That's totally in my range. So we'll roll a d8. Nope, not magical. That's another 5.
Those 5s.
I know. I love those 5s. All right, they're medium range to me. I hit AC 0, 7 damage.
You hit one.
Pew!
Yeah, it doesn't seem to dissuade it. It just kind of turns its head as it takes it to the neck, but continues coming on.
I'm gonna spread out so I'm not in like a cone radius because they can take fire. I am flammable.
Okay.
Can I even hide in shadow? They don't have my scent.
If you want to try and hide, you can do that. Yeah. I'll have you roll a percentage when they hit the camp. Galen, what are you doing?
I want to move so that when I cast, my spell will directly be in their way. Because I can't move and cast. I'll be casting each round. I just want to move to a position where I'll be able to better cast.
Okay, yeah.
They'll be coming into my spell. Sure. I'm not going to be reaching out to them.
Okay. They're moving really fast. So what's going to end up happening, Galen, is if you get initiative, you'll get your spell off before they hit. But if they go first, they'll be on you.
Then I'm screwed. Yeah, no, I fully accept that that's going to happen.
Okay. So, Scrimbleshanks, you doing anything? They destroyed one of the dogs.
I celebrate. And then I guess I look around for, I don't know, some sheets or something, and I'll hold those up in front of the door. Or it's not a door, really, is it? It's a tent flap.
Tent flap. You're just going to cover it so that you can't be seen?
Well, the object is
Tight around
if one
your
of them...
eyes, so if you can't see them...
That's how invisibility works. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it's to throw over one of them if it comes in to
sure.
wrap it up.
Yeah, there's a good thick wool blanket that you pick up off the ground and hold it ready.
It's not mine. Well, that's good. Ready?
All right, Galen, up to you. Roll a d6. I already know that you're casting. How about...
Good
Right,
chance. Good chance.
I'm gonna cast. Yeah.
You are going to cast. Okay. You got it.
Yes.
What are you casting?
Because you said I can cast any of my spells that I can cast without the winter.
Yep.
I'm going to cast Create Water.
Okay.
A fountain produces approximately 50 gallons of water.
Okay.
Meet fire dog. Water, meet fire dog.
Sure. I tell you what. I'm going to treat this. I'm going to
I
treat
know
this
what's
like
gonna happen.
I'm going to treat this like a blast damage. So I'm going to give them a save to see if they get out of the way. They're not affected by water really, but they don't like water. I'll give you that.
I think physics, at least once the lava leaves their mouth, it'll be affected by water. Maybe it creates a lot
Dion,
of steam that they can't see by. I don't know.
you want to get off another shot? Actually, magic first. So Radnar.
Yeah.
Are they in a line by any chance?
Well, yeah, they are. Not.
Ish.
They're all shoulder to shoulder, kind of coming at you.
Oh,
There's
they're
maybe
spread
5
out.
feet.
They're not like in a straight
No,
line.
not at all. Not
Okay,
a straight line.
Damn
no.
it. Okay, and they're
They
a
do lightning bolt
little.
from the side.
I'm not guessing Fireball is going to do a lot against these folks. And this is a lot to take one of them out, but
If you want to make me an intelligence check, actually.
yeah, oh yeah,
This will be you'll need a fairly decent success, at least a medium success.
All right. Come on now. I need more monitors.
Yeah. 3 is a good number.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay. You know that they're hellhounds. They are immune to normal non-magical fire, but they're not proof against magical fire.
Oh, okay. So they would be vulnerable to Fireball then.
Yeah, what happens is they'll end up taking half the damage because like it is magical fire, but once the spell is released, it's regular fire, but it is still magical, so they would take half as if they had saved.
Okay. So that's 9d6 for me.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Roll high.
And how much area does it cover? I'll let you know how many of these you can catch.
20-foot radius.
20 foot.
So 40 feet across.
Yeah, and they're
You said they were shoulder to shoulder.
they're 5. There's like 5 feet between each one. I mean, they can only get so close when they're going through a forest, but I think you can still catch them all. That's fair.
All right. So,
Yeah, so roll damage.
boom, 36. That's 18 each.
18 each. Okay, so they do yelp, and it does affect them all, but it's not enough damage to take them out. Exactly, the one that Dion struck with the arrow does go down.
Okay.
Yes.
So there are
Alright.
Nice.
4 that will end up being on you next round.
Okay. Did we do the water thing or no?
Yeah, he did, but they are not close enough yet to encounter it.
Oh, next turn. Okay, so a pot shot then.
So on their
That's-
turn, they'll hit the water.
All right.
so-
So I get one more pot shot.
Yeah, so their turn now is they close fast. They close at 120, so they're going to hit the water. I'll make a save.
Oh, another one goes down.
Yeah, I get another one.
Well, no. They get their turn first. That's what's...
No,
hold
no,
on, so-
Dion's.
I didn't get
no.
my turn yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it was-
'Cause
Sorry.
magic
Yeah,
went
you're right.
first.
You're right.
So
Yeah.
I kill
You
another
hit one, and you kill another one, so there are 3 left as they hit that 50 gallons of water that's pouring out.
See the dog killer. Woo.
2 of them make their save and veer away. One of them gets hit with the force of the water. And while it doesn't really, what it's going to do is it's just going to severely kind of, like that dog is just going to be having a sad day. He's not coming forward. He's wet.
The
He's
wet
not
dog
happy.
smell just immediately goes.
You hurt his feelings.
Yeah, so there are still 2 left that kind of break, and then they're coming in from each
Yeah.
side. So you're faced with just 2 of them at the end of the
2 is
road.
better than 6, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, Richard, D6 for your side. There are 2 of these things in the camp.
Oh,
One of them is charging right for your tent. It has your smell.
well, we got a 5.
Okay. So one of them is it's going after it definitely doesn't like clerics. It's going after Galen. The other one is going right for the temp. the tent that Scrimbleshanks is in. So you guys are first.
All right.
Spells first. Is anyone casting?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you casting?
Magic missile at the one that's going for Galen.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Just need to do 7 points of damage. You do it.
There you go.
There we go.
All right.
Boom.
All
Yeah.
right, and
Slowly gets
then
there.
I'm
Yeah.
going for the one going for the tent.
Okay.
Pew! Yes!
All right.
Nice.
So right,
Wow.
the hellhound
3
leaps.
for 3.
The hellhound
Lucky
leaps.
sevens.
The arrow takes it right behind the back of the head, so the body kind of collapses into the tent, inches from you, Scrimbleshanks, and you just see the light, the fire in its eyes, just kind of bank down as it just kind of melts into ash.
I
You just
jump
hear
on
us-
it with the blanket.
You just hear a sea in the distance. Woo!
Every once in a while, it's nice not to be like, holy shit, how are we not going to all die?
Uh,
In the meantime, there's still undead around.
Yep, there are.
They got it handled.
No, I don't. So yeah, once sort of get my breath, turn around, undead, turn undead.
Right.
That's
Actually,
okay,
you
that's
haven't heard
okay.
anything from the forest line for a bit. And as you're wrapping up here, the torchlight and the lantern light starts coming in from the woodland, and they found their friends, at least 3 of them, kind of banged up but still alive. They're carrying the body of another, and behind them, they had hogtied the rest of the undead, and they're just kind of dragging them through the forest towards the center of camp.
Are they alive?
There's
moving?
still motive, yes.
I meant like the
Um,
dead ones.
Yes, there's still motive.
Okay.
They're like, we
no.
stabbed them, we beat them, they wouldn't
I
stop
will
moving.
be-
The best thing
I
we
do
could do
not-
was hog tie them.
I do not put up with them existing. I will be destroying them.
Okay.
I don't. Even if they say please don't destroy them, there I can. I'm going to destroy them.
Oh no,
I
no,
do not
they
put up-
this was just the best they can do. They
Yeah.
wouldn't stay down. So
Yeah, no, I do not put up with having undead around. Still, I
Okay.
will put them down.
yeah, so you bring out your holy symbol, and they are destroyed in the light of your goddess. Okay, so they found their 3 alive, dinged up a bit, but still in good spirits. One of them recently dead, has his throat ripped out. Is this infectious? Do you think?
Probably.
Not usually. No.
Better
I
be
would
safe
know.
than sorry, though, right?
I mean,
I would
yeah,
know.
you got
No,
some
it's not.
cure disease on you, or
I've got
curse.
one. I can do 2 cure diseases at best, but no, as far as I'm aware, undead is not transmitted by bite. As a cleric, I would know these things.
It's gonna become a zombie campaign in about 3 months, isn't it?
Outbreak.
It starts with these guys because we let them go. I say we kill them and we move on from here with our little halfling friend.
Well, they do take, just to be sure. I mean, their friend's head is almost off anyway with the big gouge in his throat. So just to be sure, they finish beheading him.
That's safe. That's safe.
Alright, yeah.
With the 3 who are wounded,
Mm-hmm.
I give them a cure light each.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll get my spells back the next
Yeah.
day anyway, so fuck it. It's just-
Yeah. This all
As any
happened
other
like in the
encounters
middle of
happen,
the night. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's still several hours before dawn.
Yeah, so I just do that for story reasons. I'm ignoring the halfling if he's hurt.
All right. Scrimbleshanks. The disintegrating dog in front of you is the only one that had a collar on it. So the collar is left in the ashes, and you dig through it. And it's wearing the
She's fine.
symbol of a mage that you have somehow wronged. I'll leave that up to you to figure out.
oh, not this guy.
Make it fig jam.
Yeah. Striking from hell! Fig Jam has sent out dogs to take over.
Could do. Well, I will go out to join the people who are out there who helped me. Wow. That is the 3rd
Oh.
most impressive thing I've ever seen happen in my life. It's amazing. Let me tell you about the least impressive thing I saw that was happening. A flower grew.
He sat and watched it grow the whole time.
That was it. I saw a flower grow. That was the least impressive thing I've seen ever.
Oh,
Really, the whole majestic power of Mother Nature to focus into a plant having growth and life in the middle of this world, and you don't think that's amazing?
I was gonna say. I
No,
feel
it's
like
meant to do that. It was boring.
I mean,
Never mind. All right.
I don't think we're going to invite you to join our party at this rate, mate.
Well, I might just happen to follow you wherever you go, expecting some exciting stories. Anyway, hi. Thank you for saving me from those devil dogs that were following me for reasons well, it was a mage. He's probably cursed me for some reason.
that happens.
They'll get the Derek. They'll get the
If
Derek.
found, return to. It says on the back of this thing.
Oh, is it the same mage that the Derek attacked?
Oh, that would be fun. I don't know.
Yeah, don't have to. No, it's up to you. Okay, Bert, this campaign's now turned into hunt down and kill this one mage.
But I've already killed one mage. I'm ideal for this job.
So actually, the Galantrian people are really nice. There's just this one dick mage just giving them all a bad name. It's just this one mage.
Well, yes. Thank you for helping me out of that. That was great.
Oh, that's
Somebody
what we
said
do.
something about food and water.
Yeah, we got food and water. I mean,
You have
probably
literally
running.
been chased for days. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Scribbleshanks, where are you headed?
Well, I was headed away from those dogs. Beyond that,
Okay, we
I
still have that one
really
wet
haven't
dog we
got
didn't
it.
do anything with. We
Yeah.
still have that one wet dog.
Yeah, it's gone now. The water just took it all out of him. He's like, I'm going home.
Went back to tell his master. Come back with a big army because there's more people.
Well, you'd be welcome to travel with us for a while, but like, if we get into some shit, we're gonna need your help.
I mean, I can probably help. Got my long sword. I pull out a regular sized sword.
Hey, you know, we just ask for what you can do, you know. You know, love to have you travel with us for a bit.
The Green
Wow.
Company accepts fodder of all sizes.
Well, let me tell you about all of the things that I can do. Well, I can read. I can write. I can look at things. I can listen for things. I can walk. I can talk. I can do both of those at the same time.
Slowly the
we
sun rises up over
definitely
the
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Long list of mundane activities that you can do.
Yeah, so your breaks were interrupted. So if you want to set watch again, the Darokin merchants are pretty. I wouldn't say apathetic, but it seems like they're fairly hardy folk. So like they're just accept the fact that more people are dead and they're not returning with bodies.
Yeah.
So they.
It's all part of the wizard's curse.
Yeah,
Blame it
yeah.
on the wizard.
Hey, look, 100 bits from Jeff. Look at that.
Mm.
Hey, just question for when we get spells again, Bert.
Mhm.
Since I don't know 5th level spells yet, can I use like a 5th level spell slot to cast a 4th level spell?
No, you don't get slots in this. No.
Okay.
As far as getting your spells back, if you are uninjured, you just need to have an hour to get your spells.
Okay.
Well, it's an hour per spell level, I think, or just a full night's sleep. Which there's still enough time for you to get a quote full night's sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I would be happy to do a watch, except I've been chased for the past few days. So if I can not do a watch tonight, that'd be great.
I'll
The
do a
Derek
watch.
Keen merchants say they'll stay up. They're not going back to bed after what happened. They'll
Nor,
be
do
fine.
you have a sleep spell that would work on a 4th level halfling?
Or a silence
got-
spell, because then he
I
can
got
just keep
silence, yeah.
talking and we just won't hear him, but he'll just keep talking.
I do have silence as a spell.
You might be needing that.
Well, that's 15-foot radius even.
Wow. So you guys, the rest of the night goes on. The Darokin, they just stay up. They check over their gear. They bury their new dead. The old dead have all been turned to dust. Somebody does like take a little russet broom and sweep some of the ash into containers. Come morning, though, everything looks peaceful enough.
Oh, Shanks does talk in his sleep as well. Just
Of course he
mumbling
does.
sounds.
Of course he does.
How do we tell when you're asleep then?
He
It's
doesn't sleep,
more
he
rambling and
waits.
incoherent.
Yeah. He's not talking at you specifically.
It's not like we're going to pay attention to anything he says.
So yeah, Radnar, go ahead and put in what your spells are for the new day.
Okay.
Gives you take an hour to do that. Galen just has to pray for a little bit. You get your spells whenever you need them. You haven't used your 5th level spell yet, right? We tried it,
No.
and okay, so you don't know anything is up.
I don't
Technically,
know.
could have used
I
it on the
need.
guy who died, but I said we don't care about the non-PCs.
That doesn't affect you at all, Radnar. It just affects clerics.
Okay.
Yeah, gods are lame. The weave is awesome.
Or so yeah, the day dawns. They're anxious to get moving. They say that they can get nearest town, Akasoli, is half a day's travel. Safety there, very reasonable places to stay. They're heading there as a stop off. It's not their final destination, so they don't have a place there to offer you other than just thanks. They will. They do have some contacts though that they can use if you need a place to stay. They can probably wrangle something out.
Yeah, ultimately we're heading back to the Duke's Road Keep. Duke's Road, so on the other side of
Long ways
Darokin.
away.
Many hexes.
Yep. All right, so that's 2 rolls on the random chart. Let's see if anything else comes after you. No.
Nope.
No, you make it. So late afternoon, you cross over the boundary between Glantry and Darokin. You see ahead of you there is a palisaded city. It's got kind of like tall timber framing walls with wooden outposts on top of it. You notice that this area is kind of a plains area. The grass is all very dry. To the east is a desert. So as you guys are coming in, you're seeing this, this great wooden palisade in front of you. There are guards and towers. Your poor caravan is slowly trudging up to the gates. You get there in plenty of time to go through without any issue. You're told they do close down at night. They are at the very borders of Darokin, a very wild area. They get a lot of animal life coming from the forest and desert, so they close everything down at night. Doesn't cost you anything to come in. You're not merchants. As these merchants aren't bringing in any kind of goods to sell, they're also waved through. There you go. The guards are all
for your face. Get some face ash right here.
guards are all wearing in the clothing of the area is very colorful. It's also very light. This area tends to be very arid and very dry, warm during the day, cold during the night. So people wear very kind of diaphanous, very colorful clothing for the most part. Armor is usually piecemeal. The guards are definitely wearing helms, but other than like a target piece for the chest and gauntlets, pretty not a lot with armor. You notice that the weaponry, the swords tend to be slender, very long. People tend to do sword and dagger for those that are walking about. Population is interesting. There doesn't seem to be like a really large divide between like the rich and poor side of the city. It looks like it's all interspersed. Like you see really nice houses with like not so great houses around it. They don't seem to really segregate the two. So you roll in. There's a very healthy fish market going on. People are buying and selling. This is a port town, They don't produce a lot here. I mean, this is just what you're picking up, looking around. This is kind of like a lot of people bring stuff here to be pushed out across Darokin and elsewhere. They don't produce a lot of their own stuff here, but being a port town, that's pretty important. It's also a frontier town for the rest of Darokin. So anyway, it's very bustling. People are around just haggling, picking up merchandise, selling off merchandise. Your caravan gives you a contact for a couple of inns you can check into, and one of them would give you a really good rate if you tell them their name. The Umbars is the group that's leaving. They are going to stay at an inn. You are welcome to stay if you want the same inn. Otherwise, pick your own. But they're going to leave very early. They're getting a boat heading out.
Where are they taking the boat to?
Well,
Ekaros, I
yeah,
think.
yep.
Yeah.
And then from there, they're making their way to Favard over here, and that's where the family is that they were taking the bodies to.
So they're going to this place?
Yes.
Mhm.
Why don't we just go on the boat with them?
Hey, if you'd like
It's an
to,
option.
it's leaving very
Yeah.
early in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, unless you guys want to do something here, but I feel like that's a straight shot, and if they're going, we can go with them.
Well, we
And
can see.
then-
Are there any plot hooks here you want to give us? Or...
Well, you've got a night. Like I said, this is late afternoon. You've got the evening and the night, and then early the next morning, the ship will sail. You can be on it or not, up to you.
Because what we could do if we do that is we could follow them from Akaros all the way to this crossroads here. And
Yeah,
we'll
assuming
be,
they follow the road.
yeah, and
and
we'll
don't
be
just
right
head
next to
across.
Darokin. So,
Yeah.
Shanks, are you well equipped with weapons to hit things with? Do you have?
Are you well
enough
equipped?
stuff?
He
Ah,
is
the
so well equipped.
We run into a lot of trouble. I mean, do you need an extra weapon? I pull out a big iron pan.
He will tell
big-ass
you
frying
all about
pan.
how equipped he is.
Yes, let me tell you about these exciting equipment. Yeah, I've got a bow and a sword, basically,
Okay,
and some armor.
I give you my big iron pan, my big frying pan, so you have a blunt weapon, because I already have one. Other than that,
Why are you
Thank
following
It's
us?
huge.
you.
It's huge.
I figure a frying pan would be very suitable for a halfling to have as a weapon. So
So, Scumble, where are you going?
I'm just out searching the lands and adventuring and telling my stories. I was in my village and they told me to go spread your stories as far and as wide as you possibly can. So that is what I've been doing, so that when I go back to the village, I will have many more stories to tell them. We're welcomed with open arms.
Cut scene to his village. As soon as he leaves, they move the entire village.
After they have it's like that scene in the second Ace Ventura movie when he leaves the monastery and they're all like partying and drinking and doing all that.
One of my characters in another game, there was a barbarian, and he was out while his village got attacked by a dragon. But the nearby village said, "No, it's witches up north. Go up north." They didn't like these guys. I was like, "Just go up north. Yeah, go up there. That's where they came from. Just go away."
Yeah.
Right, so
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
this
so-
this is a Wharfside Tavern. Prices are very cheap after the Umbars basically, say, hey, these guys really helped us out. They'll give you a single room, bring in cots and bedding, just a couple of silver for all of you.
Mm.
Yep.
Cool.
Breakfast in the
Well,
morning, dinner tonight.
I was just gonna say I don't actually have any money. I've got these few things that I have, which might be why the mage was after me. I don't think so though. I don't think they came from that person.
What do
I
you
got-
have?
I have this ring, which I'm just gonna say them as they are. I've got a ring of protection +1.
I was waiting
Which
for you to say a
apparently-
ring of invisibility, and I was gonna murk you PvP so fast.
Alright. No. I've got ring of protection and potion of control humans and
Oh,
exciting rod here that I don't know. I'm not quite sure I know exactly what it does, but if somebody else wants to have a look,
Radman.
Can I tell anything about it?
Well, considering you're in a safe place, you take the 10 minutes. Make me an intelligence check.
All right. Let's do this.
Come on, Staff of Elemental Summoning. Staff of Greater Jinn Summoning.
Low success.
So,
Well, two things you can tell. One, it looks really bizarre when you look at it with magical sight. It's like a void. Like in your magical sight, you can't even see the object. It's a rod, like a foot and a half long. But in magical sight, it's just like a black hole. It's just a black void that seems to
Okay.
be sucking magic into it. You have no idea what it is or what it does, but that's like artifact level magic, whatever it is.
I hand it back to him and like, hold on to this. This is a really powerful item. I don't know what it does, but this is a big deal. So hold on to it.
How interesting. I wonder if there's somewhere we can go to find out more about it. That would be interesting.
What's
Is there
it?
Local entry. Place all the
No.
matches.
Yeah, I'm not going back there.
No.
All right, yeah.
Um,
It's a rowdy bar, but getting a quiet corner, relatively quiet corner is easy enough. They've got the menu is mostly like fish stews and sea creatures, cooked up 10 different ways. It's all cheap and it's good, filling enough. Richard's character, you've been, like I said, you've been on the run for days, so you're starved.
I will. As I said, I don't actually have any money. Is there any way could I, earn some money with you guys or something?
I mean, yeah, if you
Fight with
earn
us?
your keep and fight.
I'll take care of it. Just pay me back when we get treasure because we do that once in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I will definitely. That means I'll have to stick around with you to pay you back. I can do that. That's all right. Thank you.
Well, if you are going to stick with us, you should probably have this ring. So handing you Fig Jam's ring of regeneration +1.
Oh, did you actually take that off his dead body? Did you?
That's a freaking ring of regeneration +1,
Yeah,
mate.
no, I know, but
No,
yeah.
we're not leaving that around.
But you didn't take his ring of spell storing, or dig out the lucky tooth that he had
I did
embedded in
say
it.
we weren't
I
taking
think
the
they
magical
did. I
life.
think they looted you
Yeah.
pretty.
All right.
They checked the
Yeah,
prison
I don't
pocket
know
and
what-
everything.
Well, I would have got the obvious magical stuff. I don't know exactly everything Fig Jam had, but I do know that ring I'm not going to let go of.
Yep.
The ring. Because that's a useful thing to have in hand around the party. Beyond
Oh,
that.
wow. What does this do? Thanks.
It'll heal you very slowly.
Oh, is this one of those magnetic align things that they have heard about?
Yes. Yes, it aligns your chakras and you can really feel your carpal tunnel going away the longer you
Yeah.
wear it. So
Is there anything that you guys wanted to do while you were in town? Or did you want to just cut to the morning? Up to you guys.
Right.
I just want to
And that's what we said. That's what she said.
and I want to go to bed.
The meal is, filling, if not, delightful. It's filling. The room it's a fairly large room. And they'll bring in cots and just bedding that you can just throw on the floor. You can borrow the room from the inside. There's one window. It's barred.
The one thing, if you can hear me, okay,
Yeah.
that I want to do, it's just a story thing. Don't need to spend time on it. Is if there are any sort of my type of elves, not the highfalutin bastards, and if they need like priestly services or anything, I mean, it's a very odd thing that there might be stuff from Plantel, but if they need a priest,
Well, there's
If
any
I-
number of people that are nursing wounds in the bar. That if you wanna, if you wanna peddle some healing, you could definitely do that.
I could do that. I was looking more for
Yeah.
elven cleric side of it.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't really
yeah, I
explored the
can-
town, but there wasn't like any
Well, it's just-
obvious place of worship when you came in.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can give out one, two. Actually, can I cast a lower level and a higher level slot?
There's no slots in this game. No.
Well,
I already
well,
tried that earlier, man.
well, technically, I can cast 3 second level spells.
Yeah. So you can.
Do they have to be second level, or can they be first?
No, they
They have to be second level?
they have to be second level.
Okay.
Yeah, no slots in this game.
I can give out 3 cure lights, and one very lucky person gets a cure serious thing. Oh, and I've got a cure disease and a remove curse if someone looks like me.
All right, so you're just basically going around asking if anyone needs healing. Are you asking for a set amount, or are you just donations?
I don't even ask for money.
Okay.
It doesn't even occur to me to ask money. If others want to come behind me and say, yeah, just give me some here. Yeah, I don't even. You don't get in money. What the hell does Galen do with money? She's
While
like,
I'm
"Here, have
finishing
2
my
gold, have
drink,
100,000."
I'm following behind you with like the empty drink mug, and I'm like, donations to the church, donations
Yeah.
to the church,
You're Galen's pimp.
yeah, donations to the church. Bless you, my child. Bless you.
I tell you what,
Oh,
make,
yeah,
me,
so
make me a
I'm
charisma
sorry.
check, Dion.
Yes.
Dion.
a cedar.
Yeah, no.
I have a proficiency slot that I am really, in all caps, charming. Just
All
so
right,
you
yeah,
remember, I
just-
took that
just-
as one
yeah.
slots.
Just take it as your charisma, effectively 1 level higher, 1 number.
But
higher.
you can be the one they come to when
Plus
I run out of
1.
spells then and go, I got no more healing, mate.
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
All right, so it's still a low success. Okay, so with the 4, roll a d6.
Oh, well, it'd be a 6 with the 1 higher, actually.
Well, no.
minus
You
the-
you just treat your ability score as if it were 1 higher. So like if you have a
Oh,
17, it would be an
okay,
18.
Okay, so it was a 5 out of 17 then. My bad.
Okay.
And what else? What'd you say? Roll?
Just roll a d6.
2.
All right, 20 gold.
All right.
That's the other reason I don't bother
Yeah.
with asking for money, because it's the amount of treasure we get. That's just on a completely different order of magnitude
Yep.
compared
I'll
with the
take
tiny
it.
stuff we
Yeah.
get.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, basically you were saying you have this mug, people just throwing the coins in the mug.
Yeah.
You mugged people. That's what you did. You mugged people.
Yeah. Yeah, surprisingly, it's gold and not silver that they're your port town like this you would think silver, but these people seem to be fairly wealthy. They're just throwing gold at you.
Bless
Some of them
you.
are dressed better than others, but yeah, that's one thing that you notice while you're here is like there are people that are dressed really well, and there's some that are dressed like they're probably just sailors or workaday people talking with each other at tables. There doesn't seem to be any kind of real segregation between the haves and have-nots.
Yeah, and I'm just going for whoever needs healing. I don't care if they're noble
Yeah.
or
So yeah, I mean you
Who needs
probably
healing?
get more gold from the ones that look like they're a little wealthier, but yeah, all
Yeah,
in all,
that's not
20
bad.
gold from doing it. They do thank you. Some of them mentioned that it's been a while since they've had a holy person come through. They were going to have a church built here, but the funds kind of ran dry, and they could never get the the right cleric to come in to take over. So it went from having just a very small collection of people to nothing. It's been a while. You got to go further inland to see any real worship these days.
How are things looking over in I'm asking the people that mentioned this
Hmm.
over in the Darokin area.
Well, you're in Darokin. I mean, you're in the provinces,
Well, like the
far to the
capital.
west,
The capital.
as it always is.
I don't know. I've
Business
never
is
been
good.
there.
Trade's good. Politicians are keeping all the wars at bay.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Elves haven't offered war in some time. I hear the relations are doing okay. Yeah, I mean, you're Caleri though. So
Yeah.
You're. They
Not-
don't,
not
they don't really
proper
bat
elves,
that
either.
much of an eye at you.
Yeah. You're not the kind of elf we worry
Yeah.
about. You're right.
You're provincial elf.
Any word on the way to the road to Karamikos? Any going ons on the roads there?
As usual, orcs,
That's fine.
giants. It's treacherous. Doing doing any kind of trade over the mountains is treacherous this time of year. It's best done in the
But
summer.
here's this real group of bastards called the Green Company, who are really just ambushing and wiping out everyone who comes over there.
Make a luck check.
Ooh,
You'll be
me?
lucky at this at the other end of the country. You'll be
Yeah,
lucky
make a
at
luck check.
anything about.
Tell me
Okay.
high or low.
High. Low.
Never heard of them.
Okay.
That Duke over there in Karamikos, he sends people over every now and then, diplomatic meetings and such. He's trying to open up the caravan routes, but until they get rid of those giants and orcs in the mountains, not much going to happen. It's just not enough profit in it. Too much loss. Too much loss.
We know loss. And I look off into the distance,
You
out
have
the window,
your Vietnam flashback because you know.
somberly, as I think of Fig Jam's beautiful face. I'll
Surprised
never
they haven't
forget.
invested in. I mean, it's fine. It's like a 5th level spell. I'm surprised they just haven't invested in getting people teleport yet. So just teleport people around for fast communication.
That's more of a
stuff.
thing they do in Galantry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I'm
rich
surprised that
people
eventually,
stuff.
like, the didn't have a proper thing with
Yeah.
them.
Actually, that's we were talking
Yeah.
about that last game. Radnar could
Yeah, that's
technically
it.
get teleport. The problem is it's not teleport without error. There's always a chance that you end up stuck in something solid and die at the other
Risk.
end. Yeah.
Yep. There's a whole table risk.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know which spell I know which spell I want to get. And for a 5th level spell, I really, really want the Conjure Elemental.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you.
5th
were
level
looking at
spells are rough.
Ragnar's.
Like even in the colleges of magic, you can't there's not like a library of 5th level spells. Like that's gonna have to
Yeah.
be found, or you're gonna have to take the time to research it.
Make
Well-
Ragnar's dysentery.
Elemental.
Oh yeah, there's
dysentery.
also the mass dyspeptic bowels.
Anyway,
The
Yeah,
brown
so
notes.
the rumors you're picking up is that the place is doing. Darokin's doing as Darokin always does. They make deals, they make profit. That's that's the way of life. You have the gold, you make the rules.
This is
Their
true.
their borders are constantly raided to the south. The deserts to the south have had issue. In the mountains, orcs and giants. The heart of the area, the heart of Darokin, has been pretty stable. The last war, the Elven War, lasted several years, but that was years ago. No troubles since. Their diplomats seem to be making some headway with certain treaties with the Alfheimers. But other than that, it's a pretty prosperous land. So yeah, business as usual.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, C's gonna head up to bed, just let everyone know. Like, I'm cashing in early. He
Okay,
wants to make
yeah.
sure you can get up early enough.
I was thinking, I know, because Gavin, I think this. If you want to stay here a day or two, I can run some services for these people who haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah, it would definitely be in demand. You do get that.
Yeah. I don't know how much of a hurry we are in that we can't spend another day or two here.
Maybe you want to stay later and we just go off on our own. We could, but
Don't split
that's
the
up to
party.
you.
Meta-wise, I am not going to not split the party. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So if the group decides to move on, I'm moving on. If they're quite happy, just for story reasons, just to spend a day or two here. I don't know how much
Galen.
Bert would have in terms of, we just spent a day or two versus, right, intricate plot, you're in this small town.
Galen, if you want to retire and stay here, I mean, I understand losing Fig Jam was a big loss to you, but I will support your decision.
Hey,
It's a
if you want to give
desert,
up the
Galen. It's a desert.
Hey, if you want to give up the opportunity of earning money from people attending church services,
Hey, this money is strictly for the church. And
Yeah,
as
I'll get
a
some
member
more.
of the church, I can spend this how I please.
maybe you indoctrinated.
He funded his own
That's how-
religion. Funded
Yeah.
his own religion.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
the other party just wants to move on.
So Asia's going to bed early. Radnar, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
I mean, I don't really have much. I don't really have time to do much that I want to do. I mean, I'm interested in magical research. Like you said,
That takes
I
months.
can't just go to
yeah.
ye old magic store and get a 5th level spell.
Right.
So if there's any, I mean, if there's any way I could do any magical research that would benefit me, if there's not, then I'll probably just like hang out and drink.
All right. Yeah. So you're drinking late into the night.
Yeah.
Richard, what are you doing?
Well, eating primarily while
Scrimble
we're down there.
shakes.
as
I've
a
just got to
thing.
get the name down. So yeah, you're stuffing your face.
Stuffing my face, and then I will go over to a couple of tables around here and say, "Oh, what interesting things are going on around here?" And then whatever they say,
Is it scribble shanks or scrimble?
scrimble. Then
Scrimble shanks. Okay.
yeah. And then I will just be talking to a couple of tables, just oh, what are you doing here? What exciting things have you happened? And somehow turning it into a long, boring list of things that I have seen.
At first,
once
people
you
are glad to talk to you because halflings are not very common here. I mean, they're not unheard of.
Oh,
They're just not
damn.
very common. But then after your words just seem to be endless, they kind of lose interest. People are here making deals. They're selling cargo. They're buying cargo. A few people are playing some games. Doing a little bit of gambling. But for the most part, it's just all trade and sales.
Oh, so you have lists as well then? How exciting! I'm gonna go to bed as well now then. And then I'll complain to see if he's not asleep. Those people downstairs, they were just reading off long lists of things. It was boring.
If a sea wasn't asleep before you came into the room, I'm sure he closes his eyes instantly when you do. All right. So Galen, you probably hang out a little bit longer with Radnar in the bar. Let's see. Radnar, make me a luck check, please.
Okay, we're gonna go high.
Okay.
No.
All right. So it's getting fairly late. The people that are still around seem to be finishing up, making some contracts, making some deals. The liquor has really stopped flowing for the most part. A stranger comes into the bar. This is fairly late, and when he's not dressed like the other people here. Actually, he's dressed more like you saw in Galantry. People take a look at him, and then suddenly business seems to wind up. And people start paying up tabs and just leaving very quickly. So you're left with Radnar and Galen. You're sitting at your table, finishing off the last of your beer, as suddenly the establishment is just emptied. And person goes
like
over.
all of a sudden.
Yes, it's very noticeable that it's all of a sudden. A person goes up and begins to speak to the barkeep. A pouch of gold is exchanged. To this point, the person hasn't really noticed you guys, but then as he's waiting for something, he turns around and notices that you're still at the table. And as his head turns, he's got like a very heavy, thick hood. He's got a mask, like a half mask on, like a domino mask. Half of it over the left is gold. The right side is silver. He takes note of you and just gives you just a nod of recognizes that you're there. Finish up what business he had and goes away. Give me 1 second, guys.
Missed your chance to fireball them. Just think of how many subplots will be solved just by maybe fireballing their business as soon as they can start coming into it.
Not as many as you'd start. It'd kill off a bunch of people in the blast as well by mistake. And then you'd have a bunch of orphans trying to follow you around and
Just
Batmaning
solved
it
by
up.
more fireballs. Problem solved itself.
I don't know. I think they might have protection against fire then.
When the
If
dog
creating your own
scratches at the door, it usually means he's going to crap on my floor if I don't let him out. Smart dog. He knows how to ask. Yeah, so he finishes up what business he had with the barkeep and just leaves. You notice as he's leaving, the barkeep is kind of just standing at attention. When he leaves, he just like, just kind of slumps. Wipes his brow and calls out to you guys. You about done? We're gonna close up here for the night.
yeah.
Send
Sorry
my
about that.
kitchen staff home. Another round before you go to bed. No?
I appreciate it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so the cook comes out of the back and there's some coins changing hands. The cook is basically going to one of the rooms. He stays in here. Lights start going off downstairs, but you guys have a little candle at your table.
Mine's the cast continual light on the table.
All right, so I mean you're left alone now down here.
Yeah. No, I'd be finishing up and getting up the room. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm oblivious to strangers coming in and causing trouble.
Yeah, I figure I've been drinking enough that I'm not,
There's the two
when
of us
you add
hanging with each other.
alcohol, I
Show
think
me
that's
the way to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, it's fairly you unless you were trying to get hammered. It's a fairly weak beer, so you're not that inebriated. Got a good buzz. So yeah, you stumble back to the room and fall asleep. That night, Richard, did your character keep the dog collar?
Yes, I did. I meant to show that to everybody else to see if it was magically inclined, but hey, I forgot about it with all my interesting talk.
Okay. In which case, roll me a d6.
Oh no, it's not coming back to life, is it? That would be problematic. We have a 3.
Okay. As you guys come into the room, everyone else is asleep, been asleep for some time. You're both a little tipsy. You find your bedrolls on the floor. The window's been shuttered. It's, like I said, it's barred, but the shutters have been pulled. Just it gets cold here at night, and you're about to crawl into your sack when you see, you look over everything just one last time, and Scribbleshanks seems to be enveloped in like a shadow, something darker than the rest of the room, and it's particularly over his head and shoulders.
Am I talking and is it muffled?
You're being suffocated. I'll have you make rolls here in a little bit.
So they might just go huzzah.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
He is kind of tossing and turning his sleep. You said you talk in your sleep, so you're hearing little mumbles here and there, which kind of get weaker and weaker. And then you hear him actually kind of gasping for air. Make me a con check, Richard.
Con rolls, you say? Well, kablam.
Okay.
Yes. Success. Low success, but success.
We go over to him and shake him. Wake up. Wake
Okay.
up. You're muttering in your sleep.
So you kind of
Wake up.
stumble over to him.
Yeah.
The kind of darkness that's sitting on his chest and over his face kind of looks like a cat. Its haunches are sitting on his chest and its face is right over its mouth, and you see as Scrimbleshanks is trying to breathe, its mouth is, and you see like it's like sucking like the essence of him away, and you see Scribbleshank just kind of in his sleep is just kind of jerking around and looks just like really unsettled. Could just be the beer.
Yep.
We just see him. We don't see anything leaning over him.
Both of you make me a d6.
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 Why not?
No.
No, you don't see anything else. Just this shadow that looks kind of like a cat that's just resting on his chest and sucking the life out of him. As you're getting a little closer, it kind of turns, and like little glints of green where eyes would be, and you hear a hiss as it continues
I'm
to
going to
get
try, because that's what I do. Turn undead. Probably some shadow creature.
All right. Can you turn shadows?
I have no idea. Are shadows considered undead?
Well, there's actually a thing. Hold on, let me get the chart.
Turn undead. Turning undead. This says undead monsters. I don't know if that includes shadows.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Say. You'd have to look.
You know, I probably had enough alcohol that I would think Radnor's dyspeptic bowels would be funny.
So you pull forth your symbol of your goddess, and you speak the words, and there's the brightness, which makes the cat creature hiss, but doesn't make it go away. Richard, make me another con check.
Fortunately, I'm now because of.
High success this time.
Wow. you're just sticking in there.
Fortunately, I'm out of first level spells because I did the healing downstairs. Otherwise, I had to do something very useful.
So Radnar, you can see it now too. I mean, it looks like it's a cat made completely of shadow, just sitting on his chest, sucking the life out of him.
As with, yeah, I technically I've only got second level spells left if I cast all my spells for healings.
I'm going to like, I don't know if I can do this or not. I'm going to pull my hand out and start making the gestures and say I'd leave if I were you to the cat.
Oh, okay. Make me a charisma check.
All right. I've got a decent charisma, actually. Oh!
It doesn't believe you. It
So close.
spits a shadowy hairball out at you.
Since it did react to, well, you say.
I have magic missile.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, roll your
Yeah.
damage.
You attack the darkness.
Well, literally. All right. Where the hell's my cursor?
Yeah.
All right. 3d6 plus 3.
Oh.
19 points of damage.
Dear
Yeah, the
God.
shadow just explodes, and you hear Scrimble shakes his and then starts talking in his sleep.
He's asleep.
As the cat explodes, you guys hear the sound of sounds like breaking glass, and you hear like the tinkling of like shards or something.
Location?
It sounded like it came from around Scrimbleshanks.
Look around, see if he's any sign of glass or something.
There are little bits of shattered diamond, little small granular bits of shattered diamond just kind of laying around him. And you see his probably backpack or knapsack. Wherever you put that dog collar, there's like a hole in the side. The dog collar is kind of like half slit out. You can see the remains of there's a little tiny diamond set in the collar with this kind of figure, like emblem. And the diamond had just exploded.
Is this going to mean anything to me, like arcane-wise?
Well, I mean, you spent time in Glantry. It is a wizard signature.
Okay. Do I recognize it?
It's possible. Make me an intelligence check. You have to get like a high success to it.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm a crit.
That's
I'm a crit.
You do recognize it. You do recognize it. I'm going to say it was long enough ago that you don't remember the man's name, but you do remember his station. He was the keeper of the vaults. He was basically oversaw any kind of not rare but dangerous magic item that were used for study at the colleges of magic, and he was the person that would put them away, make sure they were checked out properly. His symbol was attached to all the little cards you had to use to check them out when you were making studies, so that's why you remember it. It's his symbol.
I'm gonna start putting 2 and 2 together and go, okay. So Scrimbleshanks has this massively like artifact level magic item with him. And he was, there was this weird shadow cat that tried to off him. I killed it. And then there's remnants of this going on. I think Scrimbleshanks took the magic item from Glantry. I think we might have a locksmith here.
Well, you don't
Yeah,
know about
right
that,
here.
but he is talking about some kind of recipe that needs cream corn into sleep.
Halflings can't be locksmiths. No, humans can be locksmiths.
I don't know.
I know a really good locksmith who would definitely agree with you on that.
Who is asleep right now? Okay, yeah, I mean, Scrimbleshanks seems fine. His breathing's more regular now. He started talking in his sleep again. Some color has come back to his cheeks. Seems fine.
Well, I think we should question him after he wakes up. I want to find out who's after him. I mean, if there's going to be shit like that going on, I mean, I want to know what we're dealing with,
But first things first, need some sleep.
Yeah.
Guys pass out. So you have a very early ship to meet in the morning. So you get up, those of you who are keeping track of that sort of thing, get up at the very crack of dawn, having not slept that much. Asi did. Asi went up early, so Asi got his beauty sleep in. It's probably the first one up. Oh, pardon me.
The demon dogs. They've come for Bert.
Oh,
No.
No, not the DM.
I thought we'd taken care of that. Oh no.
As you saw, they come back anyway.
There's a cat, apparently.
I mean, perhaps 19 points of damage on that shadow cat was a little overkill, but
Well, I
alright.
mean, shadow cats have got 9 lives, just like other cats, so
Yeah.
you gotta do it again.
I mean, night at dice.
Maybe it's
I mean-
a revenant shadow cat.
I mean, it's very
It'll come
interesting
back
that
to us, yeah.
Bert is letting these dogs and cats get exploded by magic missiles when he has both dogs and cats in his place.
My
wondering
dogs
if
and
there's
cats
some
would
sort of-
take your whole party, let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you're letting out some sort of frustration there, but
No, he's a good doggy. Cats are never good. All right, so yeah, Asi, you're up first. You're getting up with just enough time to get down to the docks.
I
Everyone else
sing
is
to the
asleep.
birds. I have a
Scrimbleshanks
whole
continues
musical
to
number in the
continues to
morning.
speak in his sleep. Everyone else is like snoring loudly from all the alcohol they consumed. So yeah, see, you've got like an hour to catch this boat.
I get everybody's stuff ready for them. I'm
Mhm.
like getting everything packed and ready, and I when we got 20 minutes to go, because I figure how long of a walk is it there?
It's just out the back door and down
Okay,
to the
yeah.
wharf. It's close.
So when we got 20 minutes, I'm gonna wake everyone up. I'm gonna bring up like muffins from downstairs. I'm just gonna like kick open the door very unceremoniously and then good morning and just start dishing out like muffins to everyone as I wake them up.
They're crab cakes.
We're in Maryland.
the shape of muffins.
Yes, muffin crab cakes, the best.
Delicious.
Fresh
I bring an
slabs
extra
of
side of butter for Radnar. I traveled
I
long.
appreciate that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I've traveled long enough with you guys. I know what you like.
Yep.
We got a long day. You guys kept me alive from fire-breathing monsters. This is what party members do for each other.
So Scrimbleshanks has a slight headache, but otherwise nothing.
Oh. Oh, well. Okay. I must have drunk too much. Never mind. So,
Nothing unusual happened whatsoever.
we're going on a water trip, are we, today?
Yes, we're going on a
Oh, let's
boat.
go outside
Yeah.
and see whether we're on a boat or a ship. Technical differences between a boat and a ship. Well, they are many and numerous. Let me enumerate them for you.
You know, I'd rather just see what we have first, and then maybe if you remember, you can tell me.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, so you guys basically you board a small boat that takes you to a ship. The the coastline isn't deep enough for a ship to come very close, so they have to actually port you out to the ship. It's a fairly large one. The first thing that you notice is that there are an awful lot of I forget what they're called. They're these crossbows that are mounted on posts that you can move around.
Arbalists?
They are arbalists, but they're the special. This the kind that they use on ships that they
Ballista.
stick down on like pegs, and they can move it from peg to peg to get. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are an awful lot of them on this ship.
I like these. I'm like looking over them like, oh.
Yep. There's a barrel next to each one, and the barrel is full of these really heavy, thick steel bolts.
Oh, wow. The sea is just enamored.
Mm-hmm.
How heavy are these bows?
They're quite heavy. I mean, they have to be mounted to be fired properly.
Okay, interesting. All right.
So
Take this in a note.
there's a hold. You guys don't have individual quarters, but you do have a place to. Basically, it's a hammock, and you've got a chest to put your stuff in. So you all have a place in the hold. There is a galley. This is going to take a few days to get from where you are to the stop. Again, so on the map, it's 8 miles to the hex. And while the ship will move faster than you will on land, it's still going to be a bit of a trip.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, 8 miles
18.
per square. So
It's
1,
got 18 hexes.
Mm-hmm.
18 times 8 is a number.
Mhm.
It's a big number, a large, beautiful number.
144.
140 Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would walk 144 miles and I would. Okay.
You don't have to walk it. We're on a ship.
All right, but you have
I mean, you could
plenty
walk
of
them as
time.
well.
You have plenty of time to bring up things and to communicate, or just to stare off into the ocean, whichever it might be.
It's not much of an ocean.
Yeah, I will.
Well, it's actually fresh water. It's a freshwater lake.
It's a lake. It
It's
says
a
right on
lake.
the map.
Yep.
It's
Mhm.
a lake.
Freshwater lake.
It's not much of an ocean at all.
Lake Amsorar. Did I say it right?
No.
Amsarak.
Amsorak. That's a K?
That's okay.
Oh, Amsorak. Of course, I knew that. I can read. Radnar, a sea's gonna find you and be like, hey, you're smart. I know you're like a magic person, but you're smart.
Okay.
You think we can take one of those, and I point to the little like mini ballista thing, can make it so that I can put one on my arm, like a hand ballista.
I think we might be able to make one if we had materials and tools.
All right.
But putting that, and I'm assuming this ballista is pretty large.
Yes.
Well, that one is, but I want one that I can put on my arm.
Well, right. We could just get you like a tiny crossbow and get it like rigged up so you could just go like that, and it would be like, shooting webs or something.
Yeah.
Except it'd be a crossbow.
Yeah.
Hell
But
yeah.
like, I want to shoot like big bullets. Can it like shoot like rocks or something, like a hand catapult? Or
I don't think it's gonna shoot rocks big enough to do what you want it to do.
that's-
Honestly, like I'm just like perhaps if we had some pretty hefty magic, but I don't think the payoff would be as cool as you want it to be.
all right, tell you what, we'll put a pin in this and we'll talk about it later when
Yeah.
we're more positive.
Hey, I'm just saying, I'll do whenever we stop to do research. If I run across something, you'll be the first to know.
Yes. All right, cool.
So it's a gold per person for the full journey. You can actually buy a private cabin, but they are all full by the time because you guys buy your passage fairly late the day
Alright,
prior.
I'll pay for everyone's ticket. It's just 4 gold, right? Yeah, there's only 4 of us. Okay, so I pay with the gold that we got last night. The church is paying for it. Ugh. See, I told you I'd use this for the church, Galen.
We go to the front of the ship and just sort of stand up at the front.
I put my arms under your arms.
So at some point, I want to, have a conversation with Fig Jam in which he will be explaining.
That's a hell of a conversation.
I was going to
Ad
say,
nauseam.
Big Jam explains nothing.
Oh.
He has
Not
learned the
Fig Jam,
5th level
no.
spell Speak with Dead. And
I could get Animate Dead.
Oh, we could bring him back
Animate, yeah.
better.
No, I'm just gonna talk with Scrimbleshanks at some point and go, so why do you think wizards from Glantry might be after you? I was just curious.
Oh, well, I mean, there are a number of reasons. I've heard tell that some parts of a halfling are magical in essence and can be used in potions.
Right. Well, I mean,
Yes.
and believe me, it's not a deal breaker to have powerful wizards after you. I can't stand most of the people in Glantry anyway. But I
know.
recognize some signs, and you have a powerful magic item that, maybe found its way into your bag somehow. I don't know. It's fine with me. I'm cool with that. I'd just like to know what we're dealing with. So if somebody comes for you, we know who we're up against. That's all I'm saying.
I would also like to know why people are up against me. I don't
Well,
think
if anything comes to mind, please let us know. Because,
if I ever think of anything at all, anything whatsoever, you will be the first person I come and talk to.
I appreciate that, I think.
so, Richard, do you have an idea where Scrimbleshanks would have gotten that rod?
At the moment, not really.
Okay.
I'm not thinking he
Oh, I
stole
thought
it
you already
exactly.
had this planned. I was like, man, he's hiding something.
I mean, yes, I'm hiding my incompetence, but yeah. No.
The GM is just making him a plot hook. That's all.
I love this.
I have a vague idea, but I'm not
Okay.
gonna do anything with it.
Yeah.
Right at this
Warning, if you let Bert do this, as you know, Richard, if you let Bert free, he will go ham on this and you will regret
Yeah.
it.
I love this so
I
much.
won't regret nothing.
I thought you guys planned this ahead of time off
Oh,
stream.
no. I mean, I know what I've got, but I don't know. I didn't. I've got an idea where it comes, where I found it and stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to do anything right now. But yeah, no. As I say, if I think of anything at all, I will come and talk to you about it.
I look forward
In
to it.
lengthy, exhaustive detail.
I have an out of question character question.
Out of question character.
Yeah.
Question. Those are the best kind.
Do Kender exist in this
Not in this setting, no.
No? Okay. I was like, if you're a Kender.
Oh, darn.
Surprise!
Halflings in this in Mystara, they call themselves the Hin, Hin. They don't.
Okay.
They're actually they're very adventurous. They're not actually known to be thieves at all, not the least bit.
Okay.
They're seen to be very industrious people. Some of them.
There's a fighter thief combination in this damn campaign book.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, but you know of the Hin. You know of them.
Oh yeah, I do. I know so much about the Hin. Let me tell you all the things I know about the Hin.
That's
I'm
my
sure-
She's
Sure.
all about
Sure.
those short stack Hin. All about them.
Oh yeah, I love them short and thick, like a bowl of oatmeal.
I have this vision like going forward. If I have trouble sleeping, I can just be like, "Hey, Scrimbleshanks, tell me about," and then he'll just keep talking, and it'll put me to sleep. I
It's like
it.
that.
So good.
It's like that commercial for Progressive Insurance.
Yeah.
He has her sister come over to tell her about insurance with the baby. The baby falls asleep while she's talking about insurance. It's like, got it. Right. Okay. So travels are on. The most of the folks on here are they're merchants, just traveling with goods back and forth. This boat has a lot of hold space, and the hold space costs significantly more than your 1 gold piece of transit. You did notice that there were actually stock animals in the lower hold. There's cows and sheep in the lower holds. There are 12 private rooms, and again, they were all sold before you guys were able to do anything about it. During the first day of travel, you do not meet anyone in those rooms. Nobody comes out for any particular thing. They serve a meal in the galley 3 times a day. If you want anything outside of those times, you have to purchase it yourself. But those 3 specific times during the day, it's included in your passage. So there are no encounters the first day. So the ship continues to sail through the night. Something interesting you notice, as some of you are used to waterborne travel, typically you leave lanterns out in case there are other vessels on the sea so that you're noticeable. They go through great pains to make sure that everyone knows, and of course all the people that take this trip know, no lights aboard the vessel at night. All the lanterns are banked. They make sure that nobody has even so much as a candle above board. Yeah, put away the glowing
Leave my
amulet.
light in my room.
Mhm.
I ask one of the shipmen, like, hey, why is there no lights allowed on deck?
Dragon!
What?
Dragons! Attracted by the light
Dragon
sometimes.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that's very useful. Okay.
Your first trip!
Yep.
It gives you a good hearty slap on the back. Well, hopefully it won't be your last.
Me neither.
I give you
Face-
50-50 if you're a
Yeah,
betting
thank
man.
you. That's better. That's better chances than I've had lately. The cargo hold, is that accessible to anyone?
Yeah, it is. The merchants will go down and check on their cargo pretty frequently to make sure everything's okay.
These sheep that you speak of, are they just in a pen or is it an enclosed cage?
It is enclosed.
Damn it. Okay.
Why?
I was gonna cuddle with a sheep.
There are actually there are several younglings down here that are doing just that. They're caring for the animals. They sleep down here in the holds.
I give one of the younglings a gold to let me cuddle a sheep.
A gold? It's
I-
like
I-
like they take the gold. Like, you do whatever you want with that sheep, Mister. I'm gonna go and use this.
Yep. Go get yourself some snacks. And I just lay down and cuddle
Yeah.
with the sheep. I like to think that Asi, before his life in the Green Company, was just a simple
Farm
farm
boy.
boy.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was just like,
It's probably very
yes.
comforting then. There's a lot of straw. The younglings down here take care of all the manure. Some of it is baked and used for lighting, for furnaces. Most of it's just thrown over the side. But it's, it smells like a barnyard. A well-kept one. It's comforting. So you sleep in the enclosure tonight. The rest of you guys, you're just in the main cargo hold. Well, it's not a cargo hold. It's the sleep berth, where it's just, there's lots of hammocks in between each of the pillars. There's more hammocks and more space than there are passengers, but it's not comfortable, not in the least.
What type of ship is this? Is it like steamship or just magic powered?
No, it's
Don't know
just
how
a
it works.
big, like, galleon style ship.
Okay.
Just used for mostly moving goods. They've got a
Because
few
one thing
nice
I can-
rooms, but it's definitely not meant for, like, it's not meant for the comfort of passengers at all.
I'm saying one thing I can do as an elf, if sort of comes up to it, is during the night I could be around with my night vision going, scanning around, looking for things that come in.
Do you want to volunteer?
Yeah.
Because they do keep a particular lookout at night. It's just younger men who've got better eyesight. If you want to explain, They
I'm an elf.
Yep.
I don't have a vision, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds great. Please do. So you take your turn. Just through the night. You get your meditation in where you can. So we're 5 minutes out. You're 1 day into this trip so far. So you've gone 4 hexes. 2, 3, 4. So you guys are about right there on the travel. But we'll stop it there. The night goes by just fine, by the way. The dog tag, the diamond was burst, so the mage doesn't have a connection anymore. So nothing odd happens there. Everybody else just has a crappy night sleeping on hammocks, except for a C, who has a great, wonderful night in his barn.
And me and Dolly are friends now. Dolly's the sheep.
All right, we'll end it there, guys. Richard, doing any streaming lately? What's going on with you?
I haven't been streaming lately, but I do intend to come back, where you can watch me play video games badly here on Twitch at LMTDTMFFR, or, say it with me now,
Limited time offer.
No vowels.
No vowels.
There we go.
Indeed.
Dion, what do you got going on?
Well, when I'm not playing TTRPGs with all my super cool, awesome friends like you guys, yeah, even you, you can find me on my channel over on Substance Used, where I play retro JRPG games. We beat Secret of Evermore. Whoever thought that a 5-stage boss battle was a good idea, see me after class. And,
What was the secret?
The secret of
this?
Evermore?
Yeah,
It
what was
was just
Was it friendship?
the butler the whole time.
It was the butler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Literally.
Is that there were
Spoilers,
bosses?
sorry.
It's that there were bosses forevermore.
Yeah, right. Basically, it felt like at the end there. Now we're going through the Mother series. You may know it more so as Earthbound. We're starting with Mother 1 from the Nintendo, and I'm probably gonna beat it next stream because it was a lot shorter than I thought, but it's a great game. And then we're gonna go right into Earthbound, and then after that, Mother 3.
That amazes me because I love playing old games as well from my childhood. They all seem like they were so long when you were a kid, and like you beat them like that now. It's like, how did I spend an entire summer playing this game back then? It's amazing. Bill, what do you got going on with the frogs?
Well, I'm continuing to run Lost City of Baracus. They're deeply ensconced in the second level of the dungeon now. Got a couple of spots for that. I'm also running Dude Where's My Sword this Sunday from 7 p.m. to 11. I put the link for organized play up there. But we've got a couple of spots in that if anybody wants to show up.
Very nice. Jameis, any new blog spot posts?
Well, I just saw the man bat the other day, so I've now talked about that. I was saying you should add Froglog to the Nightbot.
I should. Yep.
Yeah.
Should do. And if you found us, you know where we are, twitch.tv/SteamSteelMurder. We stream on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So the next game up is this Sunday is Boot Hill, 3rd edition. And on Saturday, I'm running Weird Frontiers, which is a DCC horror Western game on the official Goodman Games channel. And don't forget to check out our podcast at Blue Magic, BLUMAGIK.com. There's well over a decade worth of audio entertainment on there. Still going, still going. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night,
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.